Hello, hello, everybody from around the world. Welcome to today's webinar. This is Samson coming to you from Los Angeles. And here today is my amazing co-creator, Mr. Voss from Long Beach.
Thank you, Samson. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure, as Les Brown would say, to be with you. And thanks for inviting me to join you in co-creating.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
we have some exciting stuff going on. We have a lot of people from around the world, Samson. Let's see here. We have people from, where are they coming from, Samson?
Right here down in Orange County. Your friend Nargis. Hello, Nargis.
Orange County. Nargis come from Orange County. Then we have friends from Canada, Dennis and his team. We have friends from Malaysia, Hillary and her teams. And then we have, wow, all over the place, Samson. I'm excited to be here today with you. It's been a while since we've been on the screen together. And today, last week we talked about inviting for ABC conversations, inviting guests for events, Zoom events to live events. Today, I really want to talk about leveraging. Now, I know you've been here since the first day of the company when it launched, right? You're one of the fabulous five who launched the company. And you know what it takes to leverage, because that's what you did to achieve the success that you have. So this is a really an important topic. Would you first of all, Samson, explain what does leverage mean? Because a lot of people, I use certain words. English is my second language. Sometimes I don't even know what that means, right? So if we could define what leveraging is and how beneficial leveraging, especially to this in this global platform, online presence, and versus the job, the people that do a job, right? Trading time for money. The difference between leveraging and trading time for money. Can you share with us a little bit about that, Samson?
Well, good question and amazing topic. Yeah. So anyway, folks out there, today's gonna be fun with Boss. Okay, Boss has amazing things planned for all of you today. So today we'll talk about leverage, like Boss said. And but first of all, I want to compliment Boss and thank him for holding down the fort. It is summertime, people are traveling and things are happening, but he's always there supporting the global team. No, not only his team, but global team. And part of success is about paying it forward. So thank you so much.
And I learned that from you, Samson, and Kim and Yvonne about paying it forward, what it takes to really be out there for others and to make a difference out there. So thank you.
Yeah, we can. You know what? It's all about learning to be the best that we can. We're all still trying to do that. So,
yeah.
But okay, so let's move forward and talk about leverage. So your question is, what is leverage, right? And it's funny, and like you said, and I would say maybe the old me 15 years ago. If you tell me, oh, you know what, Samson, you got to leverage. I'm like, what is that? Okay, because the only leverage I've ever heard in school is in finance, right?
Yes.
When we like buying a house, right? You put a small down payment, you borrow money from the bank, majority of the money from the bank, so you leverage the money to get your house. So you use the bank's money to get your house. So in a sense, that's kind of how leverage is. But it is when we use tools, people, different things, money, information in our business, websites, brochures, videos, web links to maybe trainings, etc., product information. We use that to do our business. And so leverage for me, in a sense, is that if I can make the business simpler by using a tool or people or information, right? If the tool could be apps, right? Information could be brochures, links, videos, print, websites, web pages, PDFs, whatever it is. That would make the business that much easier. Okay. So then why I say that is I saw it happen with my own eyes. How in our industry, very average people, and I'm one of them, can be successful or some tremendously successful. Okay. And that's something that it sounds too good to be true, but it is true because it's a fact. And a lot of people, when they hear it, they're like, show me the proof. Well, the thing is, I have seen the proof, and that's why I say it to all of you. Now, it makes it unbelievable because in traditional business, in the normal way we do business, and Voss, you're also a business owner. Any business, we need to invest a lot of money, and then we need to invest all our time, right? And sometimes blindly, without previous experience, going into a business that we need to manage all aspects like legal, finance, accounting, inventory, service, employees, insurance, liabilities, rents, landlords, all kinds of stuff to run one business. And in a business, maybe we don't have any prior experience in running all those aspects in that business.
Yeah, especially the accounting part. Now, I like counting money, but I don't like that counting part of it.
Right? You're one of those who go to the bank, cash a check, and have it do it in cash, right?
Yeah.
Once you cash count it in front of them and put it back
Really?
in, right? One of those, right?
I learned that from you.
Oh, thanks. Shh. Okay, now But anyway, so leverage then, when I learned that, like, for example, I made money and lost a lot of money in the furniture business. And one thing that I recognized clearly was the business was only good as me, because I was the owner, I was the boss. If I'm no good, my business no good. If I don't have experience, then my business no good. If I don't have wisdom to make things happen, if I don't have the resources to find more financing, if I don't have the ability to find talented people to work for me, then my business is no good. You see, I could have leveraged all those things to help me make more money in the furniture business, right? That's traditional business. So as a matter of fact, before our webinar today, I had an opportunity to talk to somebody in Australia. Okay, somebody I know, I'm in this networking group, and they happened to message me, and we're just talking. And she came from corporation, okay? But the truth is, a lot of people, they rely on themselves. So once they are at a plateau, or they're at a stage where they don't know what to do, or their business is only so much, they can only push it so far, they don't know what to do because they've never leveraged before. Now, going back in full circle, why is it important in our business? What it is and why is it important? Well, one thing about our business that makes it work is a word called scalability. How to go from small to big. And let me tell you, this is a very important business idea, is that in business, in traditional business, the bigger you grow, the more money you need to invest. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine was making energy bars, like the food, right? You eat, you buy at the supermarket, you need more energy, you pick up, you buy it, and you can eat it, and it gives you more energy. They were doing more than 10 million a year in sales from a little bar, and still they did not have money to grow to keep the business moving because everything was costing too much, or the money come in, it's already, with the money go out very fast. The cash flow was very tight, even $10 million a year in sales. Okay, so my point is, because the bigger you grow, the harder it is to keep it growing. But in our business, in our industry, the company is responsible for the support. They manage everything else. When we go share and talk to people, we have customers and business partners, our scalability could be infinitely big. There's no limit how many people you can talk to. There's no limit how many people can join you. There's no limit how many customers you want or you can get. Our friend in Indonesia, Jenny Presidio, a few years ago, quite a few years ago, she hit double diamond, right? And I found out she sponsored at the time more than 400 people.
Wow.
I was like, wow, she's like a machine, right? She's always working. So that's why I say there's no limit, right? And she might not even be the top one, who knows, okay, in Jeunesse.
Yeah.
I mean, this is now quite a few years later, okay? So in our business, we can scale it very big. We can have more people in our business, more people using the product, especially people who come in, they're strangers to us, but they may be, friends and family to other people that, in our organization. That, to have it scalable, it needs to be duplicatable. And the second important word, the concept, is duplication, where anybody can do the business. Now, I'm going to tell a quick story, boss, because it happened to me in my career, and it just opened my eyes many years ago, when probably my third or fourth year in the industry, before Jeunesse, and it really opened my eyes on what's possible. Like I said, I used to be in the furniture business, and I lost a lot of money, closed my stores in 2004. So I do have friends in the industry. So one of my friends called me up and said, hey, I'm putting my furniture at this convention center home show to sell this weekend. Can you come help out? So I said, okay, you know what? Sure, I'll come help out. I'm not doing any auction that weekend. I'll come help out. I'll make some extra money, all right? So it's 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, it's tiring. It's a grind. The only people I have talked, and talked to are people walking by or the people in other booths around me, right? So anyway, so it was toward the end of the show. This gentleman walks in, walks by. He's very skinny, gray speckled hair, thick glasses. He's walking up and I say, hey, how are you? How you doing? Try to make some contact, right? So he said, oh, I'm doing good. How are you? Now the thing I noticed about him was that he stuttered.
Mm.
He stuttered a little bit here and there. He I don't know if it's from him directly or he just the way he talks, he's not sure of himself.
Mhm.
So he kind of stuttered a little bit, and I remember that, and and he asked me how I was doing, and I'm doing great, So I make conversation, and I'm showing him for the furniture, right? And then he says, oh, well, he asked me, do I ever think about making more money? I said, why? Why you asked? I helped my friend the furniture show. So he said, oh yeah, I have a water machine business and I'm looking to do more business, find more business partner. I said, oh, okay, well, no, maybe, here's my card number. We can talk later afterward, right? So I don't think of anything later. Briefly, I talked to him, but not interested because the investment was like $5,000. Okay, I don't have $5,000 to start that business, okay? So, well, a little bit more than 1 year later, he called me again. He says, Samson, how you doing? Of course, like, oh, it's Robert. I remember him. His name was Robert, right? I remember him, right? Because he's the only guy I know who stuttered.
Yeah.
So he doesn't talk very well. He doesn't express himself very well. But anyway, so I happened to, I started a new business. In his water business, he's just doing so at the time. So I said, oh, you know what? Why don't we meet up? And if you want to do the business, we get started, and I can come help you. So I met up with him. We talked. We caught up, and he decided to do the business. Okay. And boss, imagine, this gentleman cannot talk very well. Not like me and you. Okay. We can blab 1,000 miles an hour, right? So Robert, I said to Robert, look, I'm a business owner. I made money before. Of course, I lost money. But, we can share the product and opportunity with your friends. And you know what? Since you're in Torrance and I'm in Diamond Bar, I'll drive, an hour down there. Next Tuesday, maybe from, let's say, we can meet people from 10 to, 1 o'clock. So I can head back before the traffic. So can you schedule people 1 hour at a time? Can you invite people? I just said, look, just tell them, I'm a businessman. I'm looking for more business partners. See if they're interested. So you know what? I get there. I get to Starbucks. I drive all the way down there. Starbucks at 9:45. Okay. And you know what? He was there already. I said, wow, I'm so happy you're early. We're supposed to, first appointment's at 10, right? So I asked him, so Robert, how many people come in? He said 4 people. I said, wow, that's great. What about 11 o'clock? 2 people. Oh, yeah? Okay. And at 12 o'clock, another person. 1 o'clock, another person. I say, wow, that's great, right? So I had no expectation, boss. I'm thinking like, is he really going to invite people? Well, a few minutes later, before 10, 4 people walk in.
Wow.
Wow, he can invite. So we sat down, we talked, and before the 1 hour ended, the next group of 2 people came early, before 11 o'clock. So, okay, I'm just wrapping up here and all that. Okay, here's the presentation. 2 out of the 4 decide to join the business. 11 o'clock, those 2 people also joined and decided to use the product. Okay, 1 o'clock, yeah, they started the business too. And then 12 o'clock and then 1 o'clock also. So almost everybody, pretty much everybody decided to be a customer or be a distributor. So he was like making money, right? He bought a smaller package at that time, but he doubled his money already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, he doesn't know how to talk very well. How did he invite? Vaz, what do you think?
Well, he edified you, Samson.
Yeah,
obviously he was excited to share what he was going to share or going to have you share with his friends. Right. And the excitement alone, people are curious. What is this guy so excited about? And perhaps his stuttering went away. I mean, people were wondering what happened.
Well, if you only knew, Robert he gets excited, but not that excited. Okay, now it's like social media, how to invite social media. As a matter of fact, none of them were from social media.
Uh-huh. That
How
was
did
years
he,
ago.
how they invite so many people now? And like I described to him, he stutters. He's a very gentle guy, and it ended up that all those people know him from church,
Oh,
and they all trust him because he's harmless. He is always there to help people. He's just a good guy.
yeah.
I guess either people felt like they want to help him or they trust him. Of course, they trust him, or they wouldn't show up. And he doubled his money in
Mm,
one day.
mm,
I said,
mm.
Thursday, we got to do it again. So we did it again. And that's how we got started. Now, you can imagine he cannot talk very well, but he said the right thing, the least, the least amount of words possible, and people
Yes.
trusted him, and he got people to come.
Yeah.
He did not prejudge anybody. Okay. And he just did what I asked him to do, and he did it. And of course, this is the first time actually, boss, that somebody that said they're going to invite a bunch of people, that the success was like 100% of invitation.
Yes.
And then 100% sign up. Okay. Okay. Not that I'm good, but it was leverage. So instead of him talking, I talked for him more, way more, but he had the trust with people. And then of course, he trusted me, even though we talked to each other just a few times, but we got a good rapport going, and he did trust me. And that's how we start building. And you know what, Ross? 6 months later, started from him, he works as a security guard, graveyard shift at Toyota when Toyota was still in Torrance in Southern California before they moved away. He was a security guard at the gate. That's all he did. And so he worked all night and can almost never come to a night meeting. But we had Saturday meetings at that time, so he came Saturday morning. But his group, from him, just a few people who started, and then those people wanted to build a business. From his group, 6 months later, it was 1,500 people.
Wow. And that's because he leveraged you.
Yeah.
So this is the power of leverage. Like really, not being the expert or not being able to speak properly, he just leveraged. He said, I'm going to use Samson. I'm going to leverage Samson, who is the expert, to share. So wow, in a short time.
And after that, quite a few of those people in that group, the leadership, I mean, they were Filipino background. They're very simple, very happy-go-lucky, food all the time. The Filipinos love to eat. Every time I go to their house, it's food. Samson, did you eat yet? They always have food ready. It was fun. It was fun. It was exciting, and people were friendly. I mean, they were, of course, also culture-wise, Filipinos are very tight, right? They're very social people. So that's the other thing. So you got to recognize what happened now. But he could never come to a meeting, so he leveraged me and his team to build a business, and he made 4 figures in a very short time because the whole group wanted to grow, and they loved the product and all that, and they love making a little bit of money here and there, but some of them were driving it too. Sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. Why is leverage important? Because it makes it so simple that even somebody who cannot talk very well can make money. So after that very expensive lesson, because there's a lot of effort on my part just to to keep track of it and to build with those leaders, I spent a lot of time and money doing that. Well, it paid off in spades, of course. But it really showed me leverage is the ultimate key. And that was an important lesson now, because the business before that, where I first met Kim, okay? The Robert now that me and you know, and some of our leaders know, he leveraged Kim. All he did was he put big leaders in front of Kim over and over again, and Kim worked those leaders, and Robert became, legendary millionaire. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So, but
and it goes back to Samson when people have these concerns and considerations in their head about, I can't do this business. I don't have the time. I don't know how to speak like Samson does, or I'm not eloquent. I haven't had any education in business or doing this kind of business. I think that what stops people is the concerns that they have about themselves, rather than let me see who I could have support me in developing this business, because this is unlike anything else, Samson. Obviously, when you spoke earlier about your traditional furniture business and my traditional business, we had to do everything. Perhaps we didn't trust other people. We always thought I can do this better than they can. So we were there 6, 7 days a week sometimes, right, Samson? So rather than leveraging other people and duplicating and learning from other people, like I learned from you, I learned from Kim and Yvonne, all the other leaders, learn from them and duplicate what they're doing, like the ABC conversations, attending trainings. So I think going back to the importance of leverage is what keeps you away from having to do everything yourself, because you have other people enrolled in your conversation about what we're up to. And
Mhm.
that's where you talk about the why part of it, right? Why do we leverage?
You know, a lot of people misconstrue the industry. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Yeah, like this, right? But I say it is, but actually it's upside down.
It's upside down.
The people at the top actually have to lift up everybody else. That's actually how it is. So, like, who would not want Kim Hui working for them?
Yeah, for free.
Who would not mind having Voss working for them?
Mm,
Who would
mm,
not mind having Yvonne working for them?
mm, mm,
Right
mm.
now, so it's about leverage, or who wouldn't mind having diamonds working for them, or emeralds or ruby working for them? And that's the thing we need to consider, because the philosophy that we were brought up on in school, we have to learn everything, we have to know everything, so that we can get that A. Entrepreneurs is the opposite, because you have to make so many mistakes before it gets knocked out of our head that we are really not that smart at all. We don't really know that much. It's actually collective of everybody else that we can get the information on and work together to make the business move forward. And the scalability, it's automatic if we can make it so simple. And again, so one thing about duplication, one more point aside from the leverage part, is that I recognize that the more simple the business is, the more people can do it, the bigger the team can get. So everything I do, just like you say, we're trying to copy people who are more successful. I recognize that everything I do, and if other people cannot do it, I cannot teach it, I cannot do it, because it's not duplicatable. If I have a lot of money, I throw a lot of money at somebody to help them support them build, and most of the time it doesn't work. They just spend the money, it's done. But that's not duplicatable either. Nobody, the average person cannot do that. How can they build a business? So for me, I reckon, and Kim and all the top leaders, we know that, you know what, whatever we do, other people have to be able to do. Like from beginning, of course, Nargis, she mentioned social media, for example. And social media is about massive exposure and very, very, very tiny conversion. It's about doing cold market. Now, it's not what it seems to be, because there's a lot more than just posting stuff. There's algorithm you have to learn, and there's different platform you have to learn the rules, etc. But what I saw, aside from social media in real life, among thousands of people that I have met, very few people can do the cold market and be successful. Those people, they don't really care what other people think of them. Like Tina Hu. She didn't
Oh
really
yeah.
care what people thought of her, even though she was a babysitter, she was a waitress at a restaurant. People did like her or don't like her. They see her coming, they run the other way. She told that story many times. She didn't care.
Yeah.
But and she stuck with that belief that she will make it. And I remember at the time, me and her were the slowest in the business. Actually, I was the slowest, but then she got a bunch of people in and they all left afterwards. So she was then slower than me at that point. Okay, I had a few people moving. Even though she was down, we all know that, we just got to keep working, and the right people will show up. And Ross, when they will show up, they will show up sometime in the future. But you know what? We can put some effort in to go through more people, to share with more people, so that this person or a few people will come to us faster. right? That's actually how it works. So if we leverage a system, leverage a video, leverage a webinar, leverage uplines, leverage the information that you're going to share with them, where to find this, the resources are, the business become a lot faster and easier. Like I haven't done a basic training in a long time because the basic training is online already on YouTube, and also different leaders teach at different times. So this is
And that's
not.
what's duplicatable, Samson, that you don't have to do everything. It's already there,
That's
right?
right.
And all you have to do is share and guide the people who join your team to those outlets.
That's right. But we got to lead by example. Though we got to go the way first.
Mhm.
You know, like I was sharing a couple hours earlier about my own journey. You know, is that at the beginning I quit all my auction jobs to do Jeunesse full time. I don't know how much I was going to make. I really don't have any idea. But I know I calculated. I need to pay rent. I need to pay gas. I need to pay the car. I need to pay insurance, right? And I need about $1,500 to $2,000 to survive at the minimum, right? So I need to make $2,000 a month. And Vaj, you know what I did? I set the goal, not $2,000 a month. I said I need to make money every day.
Mhm.
I said, what do I need to do to make money every day, right? So then, of course, I learned to leverage Kim and other people and the meetings and what. At that time, no webinar. Once in a while, we do conference calls, just like a webinar, except just the audio. People call into a number, and we did that, right? We did that for many years. That was then. So social media now, hey, Facebook Live, people and other people can share your presentation from Facebook Live through Facebook to other people too. It makes it so much more convenient. But at the end of the day, remember why people would join you or buy a product from you. Why? Just like the first Skinny Robert, people trusted him. It was that simple. It wasn't even what he said, you know? So maybe Voss, you can, share with the information that you put together
Sure.
to help people find the
Yeah.
resources. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, Samson. So what I want to do is I want to share a slide presentation, and this is really the power of leverage and what it takes to leverage. And so there's many apps, right, Samson? I mean, now we're in the world of apps. Everything has an app, and so does Jeunesse. So first is JMobile. JMobile is an app where on your smartphone, everybody has a smartphone, or sometimes even two. You can log into your website. You can go to the back office. You can track everything: the commissions you earn, the delivery of products, who joined your team, where are they from, all the details there. And then we have another app called Shop Jeunesse. This, you could go to Shop Jeunesse. You must download these from your app store, your Google App Store or your Apple App Store. And then the Shop Jeunesse is directly takes you to your shopping cart. Okay, what's new? What do I need to order? So it makes it so simple, Samson. And then there's Jeunesse Play. Jeunesse Play, you download this also, and this is what the icon looks like. On there, you can actually watch videos of all the different products, different events that are taking place. This is really a phenomenal app to really understand about the different videos that are out there about the products. So you can share these as well. Okay, then what about websites? Now, I love these apps or these websites because it has so much content. Samson, I want to share some of the websites. First of all, the website I want to share is, let me see here, bring it back up, is Share Jeunesse. It says it all, right? So once you go to sharejeunesse.com, you'll log in obviously to your back office, and then what you're going to see is something amazing. And let me hold that up. Let me see. I'm not as high tech as you, Samson. Okay, so this is what the website. Let's go to sharejeunesse.com. So once you log in, you saw the icon earlier. Once you log in, you can go to, let's go to social media. Okay, let's go to, what about products, Samson? We'll go to podcast. Let me see. I want to actually go to videos of products. So you go to videos, you go to product. Let's say you want to learn about our #1 selling product, the Reserve. Okay. You click there and you have many different videos in multiple languages about Reserve. And I want you to take the time to go to all these. There's trending, what's hot. What about the brands, different brands of the different products we have? We have different logos, corporate logos, product logos to share. We have brochures. We have these are phenomenal. These product brochures are very important to have, because if somebody says, I want a brochure to share with other people. So look at all these. You could download these and share with so many people. Okay. Then we have a website which is called Jeunesse Events. Now, this is important because there's so many events. Now, Samson, we've been in lockdown for over a year and a half, right? Now we're going live with these events all over the world. This is where you find what's happening. So next event, a big event that's taking place is Ignite. Now, if you have not purchased your ticket to Ignite, it happens in Las Vegas, Nevada. Make it a vacation. And there's going to be hundreds and thousands of people there. You're going to meet the company owners, the corporate team. You're going to meet the doctors who formulate the products. You're going to hear from experts in the industry. And this is really about learning. Now, before that, there is another event that's taking place in Long Beach, Southern California. If you're in the area, get back to the person who invited you on the webinar or your leader. They'll explain all about that. This is really important because you could actually go back. Let's say a lead, let's say go back to 2020 vision. You can actually go back and watch the things that took place and get familiar with what's going on. Next, I want to share about Jeunesse Travel. Now, I know that we have not traveled in a long time, Samson. There are incentive trips. This is not just about making money. How would you like to be part of this? Now, if you go to this drop-down menu, you can see the different trips that are taken all over the world. You can watch a quick video about the trips. Once you watch these videos, you'll want to go. But once you go, you'll always want to go. Because where else does a company not pay you, but pay for everything, all your trip, right? From airfare to excursions, everything. And you get to meet some amazing people on these trips. You get to lock arms with some of these people and to see what they're up to. How are they building their business? So those are about the different apps. We talked about Jeunesse Events. We talked about Jeunesse Travel. Now, what about YouTube? Now, YouTube is a huge a tool that people use. Now, for example, we have USGS official channel. Now, let me share with you a little bit about what that looks like. Now, let me see here. I have to move some things around, Samson, here. I'm going to stop sharing first.
You know, one thing, as a matter of to travel right now, the incentive travel trip is back on. People, there are a lot of diamonds down Cabo partying with Randy and Wendy and the whole founders and people in the company. Yeah. And
the Cabo trip, the incentive trip, who won the trip, that's coming up in November. Can't wait for that one. Let me show this screen, Samson. Okay. Oh, let me close some of these screens so we can get to, okay. This is the official USGS channel. Now, if you go to YouTube and you type in USGS official channel, this is what it looks like. Now here, there's so many videos, so much content in multiple languages. As you can see, it's in Chinese. We have about the different events that are taking place that are translated. We have Kim Hui, our global leader, who is the first distributor of the company, who shares her background and her journey of success in this industry. There's so much you can learn. And not only that, Samson, the most important part is the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. How do we get started in the business? What do we do first? And a lot of the times, it's kind of like going to work for a company, right? You have the training time. Maybe the first 2 weeks is training. Here, you're actually learning at the same time earning money. That's the beauty of it. And then I want to share with you the free creators. Free creators, this is something that has just been put together by Samson. These are all different training videos. Now you have, look, the preview, global business preview. Then we have different events that are taking place. Will you swipe right? Okay, there's a story behind that. You got to watch that. What's your story? Daily activities as a winner. There's so much different content here for you to learn from. and this is Free Creators. They want to talk about
So
the
let me go
official.
back to boss before you go back to the free creators.
Okay.
So all these are in the free creators. They are compilations of the more recent webinars that we've had. They're probably within the last 6 to 9 months or older. And so, since this is a global platform, if we're going to talk about a global business, a global infrastructure, well, one of the things is people want to hear, is it really global? So what I encourage all of you, all the leaders that are on here talking, they've had experience. These webinars are put together a certain way to get the training across, but also the opportunity across, or the product information across. There it is. So there's a lot of things you can share from here if you want. At the same time, if you're serious about the business, to learn more, I always believe in learning from every opportunity I can do. And one of the things that I found out that when we start putting the videos online, that every morning there are people would listen to a video when they to start the day. It could be when they're brushing their teeth. It could be driving to work to get the day started in a positive and focused manner. So this is a good tool, and we feature all kinds of people here. So the knowledge is there. The knowledge is there for you. And I would dig into that. And here's the thing, our time can be spent doing many things. If you make this a priority, you'll be more focused. And that's where it is. A lot of people, they don't focus, right, boss? So when they focus, they will get more production. They will put more time into the business, and the success and how much we make is purely from how much time we put into the business. But what I mean also from time is, it's not about the time we spend thinking about calling somebody. It's about the time, the actual calling. So there is a difference, okay? We have to go over ourselves and put it into action. So
I think what I've done in the past in that scenario is prepare everything. Okay, I have to get this right. I have to write down the name. So I take almost half a day preparing and not taking the action, right? And then, oh, it's too late. I'll do it tomorrow. So that's one thing I've been guilty of doing. So when you say
let me straighten my desk. Hold on a second.
I have to organize everything.
So you know what my breakthrough was to get over this? Okay, so in my first month and a half to 2 months in Jeunesse, the first week I sponsored 20 people, so I made money, and then 3 weeks later, somebody returned something, so I got negative commission, okay? And then the week after, it was like $13 commission. So, oh, okay, that's how I started. Yeah. But but around the second month, nobody was really working at all in my business. So Kim just said, you know what, you got to go out there and make it happen, or else you're not going to make it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to give up. But even at that time, when I was very low, well, close to where I live at that time, Diamond Bar, at the top of the hill, I see a lot, the valley of the San Gabriel Valley, the East San Gabriel Valley. So I'm like, you know what, look at, there's a lot of people down there. I just don't know them. But you know what? They will know me sooner or later. So I thought, you know what? The most productive thing we can do is what? Open our mouth, talk to somebody, as opposed to the thinking. So you know what? And I learned to just let the conversation go, not going into it about prejudging, and see how it is. And you know what, boss? The more I did that, the easier it was for me to talk to people.
So would you say that's practicing a conversation then, Samson?
Yeah, I mean, look, we have intention just to share. I look at it as like church, you can bring people, they believe or not, it won't be up to you. You're only the messenger, okay? Don't make yourself the messenger, okay? Some people feel like they have to be the message, okay? You don't have to be, you can be the messenger, all right? But I think, that's why we always try to teach, we need to be more authentic, For me, I've always been in business, so I talk business very easily. But I find it doesn't work with everybody. So it works better if we are more real to people and really find out how they are doing. and be nosy about it, and really let them know that we feel for them, if that was such a thing, if they needed the comfort or sympathy, right? And then, oh, you know what? But there's more to life. There's more options in life than just what's happening to you or what you're doing. A
Mm.
lot of time it's like that. Instead of making a living, why don't we make a fortune?
Yes.
Instead of just making a living, why aren't we thriving? Right? So sometimes it's a change of vocabulary. Sometimes it's a change of mindset. That, no, who doesn't want to live life to the fullest, have as much fun as possible, be passionate about waking up every day, put our 2 feet on the floor, and ready to do something every day that makes us happy, and then be
I think,
happy and keep doing it, right?
I think it's
Do that.
that automatic life that we're used to, Samson, where we get up in the morning at a certain time, we have to rush to work or rush to a business to get there, and then we kind of go home, and then we do the same thing over and over again, right? So it's that automatic life that disruption is needed to make a difference. Like you said, people are out to make a living, not really designing the life they want or really be passionate about what's important to them. And I think it's because people settle, and other people, they listen to other people rather than saying, okay, this is what I want for myself. Going back to the why, right? Why is it that you're doing this? And once you determine, and then leveraging. So really, I want you to talk a little bit more about that how conditioned people are, and how to get out of that conditioning to really make a difference for themselves, first of all, and then being inquisitive, like you said. Really, it's kind of like an organic conversation, Samson, right? You're saying, what, instead of thinking, okay, how am I gonna bring up Janess? How am I gonna bring up the products with this person? Most people are so concerned about it, they're not even listening to the people that they're talking to. Instead of just having an organic conversation, what's going on, Samson? I know you're a businessman. Tell me more about what's going on. Like you said, be nosy, right? Being inquisitive.
That's right. And that's the thing, it's the success comes in many ways when we talk to people. But to fail, it's only a few ways, right? So we can be very creative in what we do, and that's what makes it fun. For me, for example, I like to challenge myself to have more fun. If it's more fun, if it's very dreadful, who would bother, right? Who would get on the webinar with us? Who would bother doing the business if it's very dreadful? So we got to take that out. That's not what this is about. Nagas put a cap on our happiness, put a cap on our happiness, right? And success. It's a great point, And Nagas, being a teacher, she has found her joy in what she does, and it's a matter of joy that creates the passion. We cannot just say, "Oh, I'm passionate about this." No, it's about finding your passion. It's about having the passion, right? It's about being in the passion, and part of that is if you don't have it, where we find it is being more aware of what drives us and what gets us excited. Like nowadays, like my earlier conversation on the call, my question was, when was the last time you were happy? What were you doing? How long ago was that? What made you happy at the time? Where were you? Who were you with? Right? How did it happen? Right? What exactly happened that made you happy? And then think of other instances over and over, and then you'll start to define what your happiness, where the feeling of happiness comes from, And then of course, happiness is different than joy. Joy is more of a sustained state of being. Happiness is maybe at the moment, but joy is a state of being. It's a sustained state of being. It's like Christmas time or holidays when the family get together. It's not only happiness, and in any moment, it's joy throughout the whole time. So through that, once we are more aware of what makes us tick, then we can really define the passion. So see, that's why you need to leverage the webinar, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you can have this kind of information. So
now, friends,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to put it out there, Samson, that if anyone has a question, just put it on the chat, because this is truly an opportunity for you to ask these questions from Samson, because he's been through the journey. He knows what it takes, and no questions is difficult for Samson, right? So please, if you have any questions, put them up while Samson is talking, and I'll bring him up to Samson.
Well, Voss, hey, let me ask you, since we're on the subject of leverage, right? So let me ask you, and I know what the answer will be, because you already know what you're doing. a lot of people, when they don't know, when somebody asks them a question, they don't know what the answer is. What should they do?
Well, first of all, I'll say, I don't have that exact answer to the question, and I will find out and get back to you. Instead of saying something like, I don't know. And also, I could say, I felt this question came up to me as well. I always thought about this as well. And what I did was I actually talked to my sponsor or corporate and asked the answer to the question or the solution, and then I'll get back to you with it. Because
That's
a lot
right.
of
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. It's like, hey, just give me a second. You know what? Let me make a phone call right now. I know somebody who has the answer. Oh, it's my good friend, Winnie Sutandio. Oh,
yeah.
she knows all about the product. She loves to talk. You're gonna get all the information you need. Hold on a second. Let me ask you, okay? 1 second.
Samson,
Hey,
I have
Winnie,
called
how
her.
you doing? Long time to talk. Hey, I have such and such on the phone. They have this question. Can you help me with them, right?
And let me tell you, Winnie has been there at 2, 3 in the morning for me. I called her and she's always awake. I said, Winnie, you're awake? Yes. What are you doing calling me? You're not letting me sleep. But yeah, so the answers are there. A lot of the times what happens is people say, well, I don't know. Well, obviously we don't know, right? That's why it's really important to search upline and sidelines, friends that are in the business to support with the support. So,
Yeah.
so true.
Leverage is very important. So that, like also it's important to know where to find the resource, like you mentioned in your slides, right? But not only where to find it. If you want to make the business work and you're serious about it, I would spend the time, maybe late at night when you're not doing anything else, to go through the website, go through sharejeunesse.com, go through all the channels, and go through it so that you know what's in it. Then you know where to find the information and how to leverage that, right? So it's something that I think, like for example, a lot of people, when they join a business, they don't know what the rules are. Spend the time. Why does the company always mention compensation plan and policy and procedures? So I actually spent the time to go through, every single word in the compensation plan and also policy and procedure, so we know what it is, because it's a serious business, right? So
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
times like, look, in the comp plan, people ask you about it. What I do is, if they're new, I say, go read it first, and let's set up a time, and then I will explain to you what you read, answer your question after you read it, right? Even if I explain to you, you might still have more question. The detail might be in the written comp plan, right? So it's stuff like that we always have to leverage to save time, to be more efficient, to be more duplicatable, right?
And I've also learned that. Is there feedback? So I've also learned, Samson, that when you hear something, well, for me, example, when I hear something, I forget it. And when I see it, I remember it. But when I do it, I understand it, Samson. So that's why when you say that, going back to your back office, take a couple of hours, like you said, free time, nobody to bother you, just you and your new business. And a lot of people don't get that. This is your own business. You spend a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Get to know your business. It's kind of like you buy a house and you don't know where the bathroom is, right? You don't know where the closet or the kitchen is. You got to understand. So you got to maneuver through that, like you said. And when you go there, then you'll remember how to share with other people. Oh, I know where this is at. Okay, well, let me teach you how to do this. Now go back to your back office. I think it's really important to get to know the business because once you do it yourself, you get to understand it.
Yeah. So and then another very important thing to get to know are the people in Jeunesse. Why is that? Because everybody have the different background. Everybody have their own story, and everybody have their own reasons why they are here with all of us. You always, because we're in marketing business. Marketing is about sharing stories. It's about getting ideas across, right? Or to inspire other people to take action, to buy the product, to use the product, to do the business, to do something for themselves, right? As opposed to just being a customer, right? So we want people to live to the fullest. So when we have stories from so many different people from all over the world, those are like tools in our pocket. When you run across somebody with a similar background, similar story, you know the story of somebody else in Jeunesse, that the reasons why they're here, and you can use those stories to share with them, and they can identify. A lot of people can identify with it. I think though that is one of the things that that why I always, as much as I can, participate or in the event so I can learn and hear what's going on. Because you don't know. It could be one story that you learn from somebody and you share with a friend that changed your lives. And you know what? End up that maybe that friend, really changed the whole view of life and become a millionaire in Janessa. I don't know. It could be.
Mhm.
So yeah, and we have these webinars recorded on Free Creator, so they will be there. So you can go back to find it, and you can share with different people.
Yeah. So a couple of questions, Samson.
Yeah.
So obviously, this training is very good training, very good training. Will this be in Free Creators, please? Of course, Samson, you'll be putting it up, right? So they can go back and listen to it over and over.
Yeah.
Now, another question is, the power of this business is leverage, but how can I leverage when my direct uplines are not working or don't have the clear vision or direction for the team? Samson, this is a perfect question for you.
Yeah, no, it's very, 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 very relevant question because in our business, a lot of people come in as a distributor, they end up being customers, right? Maybe they're not active. And this is the first part of the question. What you should do, and everybody, is to have minimum 3 names and phone numbers in your upline. You can go all the way up to whoever's Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond to reach out to them. If you don't know, well, ask your sponsor who's their sponsor and then who's their sponsor. If that's a problem, then what you can do is just call the company and ask. Okay, so it's very important. So the second part of the question is about leveraging direct uplines or not working, don't have a clear vision. Okay, the vision part. Okay, the vision part I think is very important. Is that we have our own vision. If we don't, we need to develop it over time. Now, maybe we can do like this, and Voss, look, we have only 4 more minutes, right? So maybe if you don't mind, let me just spend that on maybe something that I use to develop my own vision. Is that okay?
Yes, perfect.
So almost everybody, unless they have been successful in this kind of business before, they don't know where it would take them, and that's normal. So don't expect to have the vision on the very first day, because the company's vision is great. We can all follow it. It's directional, but we need to have our own vision to make it real for ourselves. What do we want out of life, etc. So many years ago, when I first lost a lot of money in the furniture business, I did it wasn't really a meditation, but I just sat down, closed my eyes, just imagine if I can do it all over again, how would my life be? How can my life be? How my life should be? How can it be that I can, what kind of life I want? Not only wanting, the act of wanting, but being in the life that I want. So I would say, like as I mentioned earlier, if you wake up, where are you? Well, what city are you in? What are you at the beach? Are you at the mountain? Are you in a big city? Are you in the farm? Where are you? If you had your choice in life, where would you be? If you put your feet on the ground, what gets you excited that day? Hey, you know what? Today I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Hey, I'm very busy and, with the family or no, whatever. Maybe you go to the kitchen. Is it a small kitchen, big kitchen? Make it real, right? You open the door to the garage. What kind of cars you have in the garage? And then you're looking at your calendar, planning your vacation. Where are you going to be, right? Look, the ideal life for you. What would it be like? What gets you excited? Not only that's the material side, but on the inner side, on the emotional, the spiritual, the mental side, what gets you excited? What brings you that excitement about life? How does it feel to thrive? Well, we all know right now how it is to be locked down. Okay, but how about 180-degree opposite? Thrive, excitement. What make it for you? Write it down. So that's where you want to be. That's your vision. That is your vision. It does take some self-awareness, and you can take time to develop. Now, for me, Voss, it was very simple. My vision, what kind of life I want? Answer, happy life. Right? Now, so people would say, yeah, everybody wants that. Okay. So what I did was, I asked myself the next question. What made me happy? All of you can ask yourself, What made you happy, or when was the last time you were happy? What were you doing? Who are you with? Where were you? What was happening? I think about that. We are made up of our character often is made out of specific instances that happened to us in the past. So if you start putting that down, you start to define what makes you happy. Okay, now that is where you want. So for me, it was music. I used to play piano for many years. I don't anymore, but
and I'm telling you, you guys, for those of you who don't know, Samson is an amazing singer and a pianist.
Okay, okay. That's when I practice. Okay, don't ask me to do it again. Okay. The second thing is people. I love people. I love interaction. I remember my grandmother in Hong Kong just tell me when I was tiny in the garden, I would go up and talk to other kids, and she said, "Oh, this little kid's gonna be a businessman. Love to talk." Okay, I said, "Well, I don't know," and I was so small then, right? So I do love people. I like to find out what people are made of. I like to know their culture, their history, where they got, how they got to where they are. Okay, I love reading about that. Third thing is freedom. I love freedom. I like to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do, however I want to do it, with whoever I want to do it with. So just have that freedom. My parents never put a lot of pressure or really put me in a box. I just, I was the oldest and did what I like. So those three things, it defined my happiness to a certain degree. And so I focused on that. And you know what? This business called Jeunesse came along. This industry came along to me. I don't know what it was. If you told me 20 years ago, this kind of business, really, can it make money? But you know what? I met the right people. I saw what happened. Even though I did not make much money, the very first business, I saw other people make incredible money and lifestyle. I was lucky enough to see it, because sometimes you say seeing is believing. But even then, the why I did not make money, even though I saw it, because I did not believe it in myself, or I did not really believe the process. I did not know the process. Okay, so what it is when you believe it, you will see it. That's the thing. It's seeing is believing. It's actually the opposite. When you believe it, you will see it. It will come to you. So I define my passion and the way of life among those very simple ideas. Whatever pushes your button, you have to figure it out. And then what I do after, I would say, is very interesting, is to contrast of where you will be in the life that you want versus where you are today. What I'm saying? Right now, where you are today, how you feeling? What you have, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, right? Your environment, your situation. Write down, compare, contrast. One thing that there's many reasons why people take action. One is being uncomfortable, right? So 2 is literally painful. 3 is just sick and tired, being sick and tired. 4, they have no other choice to change, right? So wherever you are, all of you out there, it doesn't matter what happens outside of you, because success is really an inside job. If you can go through the process and define your vision, that will be in you forever. If you stick to it, and you need to be among the group of people who will keep you accountable or keep you tied in energetically, spiritually, mentally, and keep hearing about it. Other people are doing it. If many people can do it, for sure you can do it, regardless of can you talk or no talk, regardless of appearance, regardless of economic have money, no money, single, married, kids, no kids, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what race, what creed you are. I've seen success across the board. So it starts with your own vision. Learn to leverage, because that's one of the most important lessons I ever learned in my life about business. If you don't know, don't keep it to yourself like most people do. Instead, ask somebody who knows. If they don't know, they will point to somebody that knows. That's how you leverage. The same thing with the events, the events create energy. People create energy. If you're down, other people are up. Leverage that, right? And so that's the point. The smart people, you know what they say? They say, don't work hard, work smart. And you know what working smart means? Working smart means knowing how to leverage. Instead of putting it on your own shoulder, spread it out. Yeah. I mean, for example, I just want to know, I know we're over, but I want to express a couple points. One point, very important, is, for example, in my furniture business, I had a lot of salespeople, I had a lot of employees, and I felt like I was tied to it. And I had to be there. I couldn't trust anybody but myself to run it the right way. But little do I know, I knew so little, and I did not run it the right way. It would have been smarter for me to spend more money hiring somebody really good and have them run the business for me. And then I can manage that one person instead of manage 50 people. So that's the key of leverage. That's about working smart. So I hope that today, this talk help a lot, help all of you a lot, that it gives you thinking of how all of us can do the business better by leverage, and creating a vision for individually for where you want to be. And you gotta be there in your mind. It's not about wanting to be there, because if you want to be there, you're always wanting. Things won't come to you if you always want. You gotta imagine yourself as if you're already there. You gotta act if you're already there in your most incredible life. So then everything, your brain works, your eyes will see, your ears will hear the things that point you to that direction. It will come. You'd be surprised. It's always been there. You just didn't see it. So, hopefully, boss, those are thoughts that, I was on a rant today with another person earlier, just kind of translated here, but I think it is very important time where people feel disempowered because of what's going on in society. Rather, they need the empowerment that, regardless situation, we can all thrive in any, like, for example, in any down economy, there's always people making money. They're ahead of the trend. They're still pushing what they're pushing. And at that, when the economy goes down, go up, all tides, rising tide raises all boats. Everybody becomes successful. So it doesn't matter what is happening outside. It's actually more important what's happening inside of you. So I hope that helps. Thank you, boss. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Samson. I appreciate the time again, and we'll see all of you guys at the next training and the next event that's taking place. Take care and have a great day.
Yeah, see you at the next event. Thank you, boss. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Samson. Thank you, Hillary.